Great. Today we're going to talk about why your driver miss isn't necessarily random, and there is somewhat a level of predictability that you can look at when you're hitting your driver. So if your driver swing feels random, you miss one way to the left, you miss one way to the right on the next one, it isn't really random. There is some level of predictability there that we need to take a look at when it comes to our face to path. So today I want to show you guys why your driver misses keep showing up and why guessing fixes never works. So when we look at most golfers will describe their misses very emotionally. They'll start to tell themselves, oh, I blocked that one, I pulled that one, I flipped my hands through the impact zone. But the thing that we have to remember here is that your driver doesn't respond to your emotional thinking processes. It responds to your club delivery at impact. Every driver swing that you make is a result of where the club path is pointing, where the face angle is pointing, and whether or not you're getting the ball started on the correct direction in accordance to the window that you have chosen. Another element that we can look at is actually how fast you're moving the driver. Are you swinging it in a more controlled manner, or are you swinging it a little bit more aggressive to get the ball out there a little further? So when you're hitting the ball with your driver, the one thing that we have to understand is the golf ball's flight is reporting what you're doing at impact with your club face angles, your club path angles, and your angle of attack. So the number one biggest concept that we have to understand when it comes to hitting your driver is that we're never going to get the ball started on the exact direction on what we've drew up in our mind. If you're a fader of the golf ball, there's going to be hits where you hit straight pulls, you're going to overcut it every now and then occasionally you're going to hit that nice beautiful cut that you drew up in your mind. But it's never exact because you're moving the club head at such a fast pace. It's so hard to control the face angle to the exact direction that you want it. We're not just looking at a dime starting direction. We have to expand our starting direction and then get it inside that window. And if we can do that, then we're gonna be way better off. It's gonna ease our mind, and then you can just free flow your swing and let it go out on the course and have somewhat a level of predictability about where the ball is gonna go and end up down the fairway. So it's very important to understand, guys, you have to make sure that you know that the ball's never going to start on the exact direction that you want it to. What we're trying to do is you're trying to increase the variance or the dispersion window, and if you can hit it inside that dispersion window for your starting direction, then you're going to be way better off on the course. And this will end up giving you better predictability instead of randomness when it comes to hitting your driver. The best drivers on the tour know this instinctively. I myself have always been a really good driver of the golf ball, and it's because I understood from a very early age that I'm never ever going to get the ball started on my exact direction. But if I pick a large enough window and try to get my ball direction started in that window, somewhere in that window, doesn't have to be right on a pea-sized dime, then I'm going to be way better off. It's going to be much easier for me to hit the driver and hit more fairways over the course of time. So most amateur players, when I see them play, when they hit a missed shot, they automatically start going into, oh, I did this or I did that in my swing, I flipped my hands, I opened up too much, I didn't open up enough, and they're thinking internally about what they need to do on the next shot, and it just makes everything go out the window. And what you're doing when you do this is you're increasing the amount of chaotic internal thoughts that are going inside your mind instead of keeping it simple and understanding that the ball isn't going to go exactly where you want it to go each and every time. And what this creates for the amateur player is a fear. They build up this fear about, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. And then they'll start to steer the club head through the impact zone, and this creates a host of misses that are outside your targets usually, and you start putting the ball in the bush a lot more often. So you got to remember when you're swinging the driver, and it can be any club for this matter, that steering will punish you more than anything. You got to keep moving through the ball with your swing very fluid. Don't overthink it, okay? Once you have your target picked out and you have that visualization of whatever shot shape you're trying to hit, go with that. You have to eliminate the thought processes. After that, step into the ball and just focus externally on what you're trying to do with the club head. Another big key that we have to understand is the best drivers in the golf ball, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, all the best guys that are hitting the most fairways and hitting the ball the longest, they don't have a fear in the mind about where they're going to miss their shot. They've replayed the shot process visually over and over in their mind, and then they step up to the ball and they just focus in on what they're trying to do with the club head as they come through impact to create that shot shape. So let me hit a couple shots here for you. I'll hit one draw and one fade, and I'll try and get the draw to start slightly out to the right, and I'll try and get the fade to start slightly to the left. And I'll pick a window on the screen. It's not going to be just a dime where I'm trying to hit. It's going to be a window on each side. And if I hit the ball in that window, then I know that I've succeeded in my initial task. So we'll start with the draw, guys. I'm going to start this ball slightly out to the right. I'm going to try to. I'm going to pick a window on the right side of the line. It's going to be a pretty big window. The other thing you have to understand is with your driver, because the ball's going the furthest, and you're swinging the club the fastest, it'll be the hardest to control. So I pick a window that is large enough to the right, and I'm just gonna try and turn it over to the left, okay? So I line up, get into my driver stance. I will move my ball position a little bit back, because when I move the ball position back, it allows me to hit out to the right a little bit more, and I can get my face angle started slightly out to the right. And let's just see if I can hit a nice, beautiful push draw here for you. And remember, it might not happen. It might be off. You might hit a straight ball out to the right. You might hit a slight fade out to the right if your face angle is just a little bit off, because it's just a matter of a couple degrees. Or it might overhook to the left a little bit, okay? But we have that window picked out where we want the ball to start. We have that initial thought process about what we want the ball to do as far as the shape. And then you just eliminate that, go in and swing fluid, and let the ball and the club head do their thing. And that actually worked out really well. I started the ball out to the right. It was inside my window, just on the left side of the window that I chose. And the ball started out to the right and then came back to the left. Nice little push draw. Really that simple, guys. Let's keep this simple. Like always, I am here to show you the simplest way possible to play the game, eliminate those swing thoughts, and allow you to have more fun out on the course. So the next shot that we're going to hit is a nice fade shot that starts a little bit to the left and curves back to the right. So for this one, we're going to pick our window target. We're going to go slightly to the left. I'm going to go just to the left of the line. I'm going to pick it somewhere in this area, make the window big enough, and if I hit the ball anywhere in this area, I know that I've succeeded in my initial task. And hopefully I can keep the face open and let the ball tail slightly to the right as I come through the ball. So remember, like I said before, we need to make sure that we're not trying to hit that pea-size starting direction. We're increasing the window size, and that's going to really help us free up our mind and allow us to swing fluid through the ball, because we don't have all these excessive swing thoughts going on inside our head. Okay, so this is a good swing, and this is a good example of what I've been talking about, the key to this video. So I picked the window over here, right? And I picked a pretty big window. The ball started right down the middle of the target line and had a little fade to the right. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to our face angles. We don't have 100% control over our face angles, okay? When you're coming through, because you're moving the club so fast, you're not going to be able to have that timing down perfectly. I would still consider this shot a success. Even though the shot was slightly outside the window that I picked, it still started pretty close to the window, down the middle with a little fade, okay? So make sure you don't tell yourself that you're a failure because you didn't hit the ball inside your window. Like I said, it's really hard to control the club face, but we have to make sure when we're picking our targets that we pick the window and we make that window big enough in order for us to have more success and ease our mind as we're hitting our shots. Because if we try to pick tasks that are near impossible to do, all we're going to do is get frustrated out there and the game is going to become less fun. So let's keep this simple, just like that. I was slightly outside my target there, but it still ended up with a good result. So that is a success in my mind. So that's it for today, guys. What this really comes down to is awareness, okay? Understanding the principles and the elements that we need to utilize in order to play our best golf, and freeing up our mind and not having overly excessive expectations. This is expectation management and being aware of what we can and cannot do at each and every level of our golf game. Because when you start trying to be perfect, that's when you fall into trouble. And guys, if you want to understand how to map your ball flight and starting direction properly, go to my website. It's www.externalfocusgolf.com. I'm trying to build the membership up this year, and we're really going to start focusing in on the things that matter for you. Ease up your mind to play better golf, because there is so much poor instruction out there as far as learning how to play the game. I make it simple. We have a procedure that we can go through with you that's going to give you the ability to play some amazing golf without overly excessive thinking about what you need to do with your body, internal body mechanics, and so forth. So go to my website, check it out, and we'll see you guys for the next video.